Silent movie theater back in 1926. Now this is the natural part of the river. This part has a mud bottom. It's also the natural direction the river flows. On my right side, the light colored building is called the Mukata Hotel and Spa. It's what it is today, but back in 1901, it was the site of L. Frank's saddlery. L. Frank's saddlery in the 1900s employed over 500 people, helped supply the United States Cavalry summer saddles. The ducks in front of us, those are mallards. Ones with the green heads are the males, the brown ones are the females. They will move right out of our way, and they'll move a lot faster than the boat can travel. On the right side, the light colored building is called the Mukata Hotel and Spa. It's what it is today, but back in 1901, it was the site of L. Frank's saddlery. L. Frank's saddlery in the 1900s employed over 500 people, helped supply the United States Cavalry with summer saddles. Now wave at the little Spurs fan on the right side. See the little boy there? Wave at him. This is where parents go to give away their children. This little boy's been here about a week now. No, I'm kidding. He's been there about a month. No, and he's feeding us bread. This footbridge we're going to go underneath. If you saw the movie Selena with Jennifer Lopez, bridge called Selena's Bridge, that's where J-Lo had the kissing scene in that movie. On the left is La Mansion. La Mansion is a very old historical hotel. It was originally built back in 1853 as St. Mary's School for Boys. After that, it became a law school. Then in 1966, two former law students returned. They purchased it and turned it into La Mansion. If you look at the top of La Mansion on my left, you'll notice those pillars are round. In the middle, they're square. And at the bottom, they're rectangle. And what does all of that prove? It proves that they were law students.
What's that?
Not architect students. The waterfalls that we're bypassing here are man-made, but they do help circulate the water in this natural part of the river. Wave at the people on the bridge above us. See the people on the bridge? Wave at them. Now when we come out from under the bridge, if you look up and to my left, you'll see an optical illusion. It looks like a 23-story freestanding wall. That's going to be up and to the left. Should be able to see it right about now. There it is. It's really the Joseph Nix Hospital. It's a full-service hospital that was built triangularly to the RiverWalk in 1930. And that is where Carol Burnett was born. Carol Burnett lived in San Antonio till the age of 7. She now resides in Sacramento, California. No, I'm kidding. She now resides in Santa Barbara, California. Everybody seems to notice the giant shark up on the left there, the tiburon. I did have a passenger ask me if that shark escaped from that movie, Sharknado. Straight ahead is the Hyatt Regency Hotel, 16 stories tall. On the other side of that is the Alamo. The Hyatt limited itself to 16 stories when they found out that if it was taller than that, it would cast a shadow on the Alamo at sunset. The shortcut to the Alamo is on the left. It's through those brown colored doors that say the Shops of Paseo del Alamo. After the bridge on the right, the orange colored building is called the Casino Club. Originally built in 1927 by the German community as a social club. People always ask me, is it a casino? And the answer is no. There's only one casino in the entire state of Texas. It's about 150 miles from here, City Eagle Pass. It's run by the Kickapoo Native American Indian tribe. Today, they have a restaurant underneath. There's an apartment complex up on top. Famous person that rented one of the apartments up there, Alex Haley, the author of Roots, rented an apartment there one time. We're going to let the taxi boat pass us because he thinks he has a Hemi. Hi, Terry. How you doing? Thank you. After the bridge on the left side here, before the construction, you'll see there's a sign that says Cafe Ole. And on the sign you will notice a large margarita. Cafe Ole does have the largest margaritas on the river. They are almost as big as what's on that sign. 60 ounces. 60 ounces, almost half of 1 gallon. They look like a giant fishbowl. Now, if you're visiting from China or Russia and you're on the metric system, that's like 2 liters. 2 liters, yeah. Now look away from the big margarita sign and look back at me. Look back this way. I can only drink 2 of those. Just 2. That's all I handle. Usually right before driving this boat. Just takes the edge right off. Edge of the boat, edge of the sidewalk, edge of the umbrellas. On the right side, these orange umbrellas, these always remind me of giant barbecued Pringle potato chips. And on the right above the Texas umbrellas on the balcony of the Clifford building, you'll see the name of Robert Hugman, the father of the RiverWalk. This was his office in 1941. It was after the RiverWalk was completed. He wanted to prove that a business would do very well at river level, and he was absolutely right. Next business to open at the river level is on my right, Casa Rio Restaurant, opened up in 1946. First restaurant to have riverside dining as well as the dinner boat cruises, because they were first to have the largest amount of riverside dining. They also have a little mariachi band on the right side. We'll make a turn, leave the natural part of the river, part with the mud bottom. Now as we turn to the left, if you look to the left, up at street level, you'll see an orange 65-foot tall sculpture to the left at street level. A gift from the country of Mexico about 10 years ago, built in the state of Chihuahua, Mexico, by an artist named Enrique Carvajal. It is called La Torcha de Amistad, the Torch of Friendship. They call this the man-made extension. They built the channel in 1968 as a concrete bottom. The water is about 5 feet. I don't know what he's talking about. They built the channel in 1968. It's called the man-made extension. The original reason they built it was to shuttle passengers from Hemisphere over to the restaurants by water taxi. Now after the bridge on the right side, the large tree at the river's edge, this tree is not dying. This is a bald cypress tree. It loses its leaves in the winter. It's deciduous. If you look down at the ground, you can see the roots of the tree. They grow right out of the ground. These are called cypress knees. These kind of trees grow by a river or in a swamp. The roots grow out of the ground, out of the water, and they regulate the water ratios on those kind of trees. Those roots also tear up the sidewalk, and that's what happened on the left. The city replaced the sidewalk on the left just about 2 years ago. This time they built a little bridge over the cypress knees, so we'll see how that works out. As we round the bend on the right, you'll see a beautiful man-made waterfall. It helps circulate the water in this man-made part of the river. And that boat coming towards us, that's another water taxi. Just think, you have seen half of the entire taxi fleet today. If you look over the bridge that's ahead of us, you'll see the 2 tall buildings. The tallest one is the tallest building in San Antonio. It's 38 floors, Marriott River Center Hotel. The other tall building is called the Marriott RiverWalk. It's a little confusing having the 2 tall buildings so close together with very similar sounding names. And on the right side on the shore, you can see some more of those roots growing out of the ground. Now this dark colored bird on the right side, this is a very strange bird. It's called a cormorant. They have green eyes, they have a hook on the end of their beak, they have webbed feet, they can fly, they can swim underwater, they hold their breath for a real long period of time. Now they eat a lot of fish. They're different from a duck in the feathers are water resistant, they're not waterproof. So from time to time they come out of the water to dry off, and when they do that they put their wings beside them and strike a pose like a pterodactyl. I'm just glad they're not bigger and they don't eat people. It's called a cormorant. If you look over the bridge that's in front of us and up to the right, you see the big tower. It's called